You're this per back with another video, and this is going to be a discussion video that I wanted to talk about. This gets talked about a lot in my circle of peers and whatnot, and I want to ask the question: which is a better method of watching television, binging or weekly? We're going to get into it, but before I get to this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and follow me on Twitter at perpminded420. Man, also, I just put out some merch. I just launched Perp Apparel Season 1, so if you're interested in buying a t-shirt, that'd be a dope way for you to support the channel. We're gonna keep this going. It's experimental, a lot of basic stuff, shirts, hoodies, things like that. Definitely check that out. I'll have a link for that in the description below. Check that out if you get a chance. But with all that being said, let's get right into this video because I don't want to waste no more of your time. We've got a lot to talk about, and let me know your thoughts at the end of this video. Also on Twitter, I have a poll, so y'all can go vote. But anyways, let's get right into it. Let's start with binging. Now, binging has become the new norm on how people consume content. People just want that convenience, and it is very convenient, to not wait week to week and just to have them all there for you to watch, consume, and just enjoy with yourself or a group of friends or a loved one. This is a very interesting method of watching. Considering my background, I've watched anime, and that was the first thing that I've ever binged, before binging was a thing, because when you have like 300 something episodes, you tend to just go through the whole entire series. So with today's society and just how things are going, we're seeing more and more of these studios coming out with these streaming services, and we tend to just be spoiled with just binging, and it's becoming the norm now. You still have shows that come on weekly, but streaming and just the internet has just completely taken over. People still watch cable, don't get me wrong, but like I said in the beginning, it's about convenience, and convenience will most likely win over something that is weekly. It's just people want that instant gratification. It's very different. Everybody's different. Not everybody is going to like binging. They like the week to week. So let's talk about weekly, shall we? Now, weekly is cool. It's the old school way of just consuming content. Some people out there are very busy in life and they just want to watch things week to week, and things do last longer when it's put out weekly compared to binging. But I'll get into that in the later parts of this video. The last show I enjoyed watching week to week was The Leftovers. That hands down was the last series I really enjoyed watching week to week, because here's an example, right? The Walking Dead is 16 episodes. They'll usually have a mid-season break, which is like 2 months. So having your show weekly could kind of hurt, your show, because if you don't keep somebody's attention for X amount of weeks, then they fall off, and which I think killed The Walking Dead's completely buzz, because this season there's really nothing happening until the second half of the season. So it's like you're wasting your time for 8 weeks, then you have to wait another 2 months for it to come back, and you don't know what to expect. You could have a complete shitty ass season and completely waste X amount of time. And having your show be weekly can be harmful for your product. To me, either way, if you have to binge it or watch it weekly, you have to still have a strong product regardless, because nowadays, to compete with binging series, you have to make a show worth somebody's attention, worth watching week to week. You can't have no lame ass episodes, because certain people are just really impatient nowadays. Everybody has ADD. So, if you're that type of person that likes watching things weekly, I don't blame you, but it's kind of a mixed bag for me. So my next thing I want to talk about, and just kind of close this video out with, is which method do you prefer? Do you prefer binging, or do you prefer watching things weekly? Me, I'm going with binging, just because I like to have control over just what I want to watch. You could watch things at your own pace. You don't gotta wait week to week. I would love to be able to binge watch The Walking Dead, because I could skip through some of the filler that's just completely boring. Like I said, it's just convenient. And also it tells you a lot if you have 10 episodes and you could just go through it and you want more, compared to a weekly show where you might have 2 or 3 back-to-back great episodes, but then it slows down, like The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is week to week, and I wish I could have binged that, because with 8 episodes and each episode only being like 30 something minutes, it's just like, damn, like what is going on here? And I didn't like the middle half of that series, but that's a whole nother thing. I have a review on my channel. It's like I said, I guess it's based off just preference at the end of the day. I could do either or. It's just, if it's weekly, you better make every single episode lit. If it's binging, the quality just better be there, or I'll fall off after the first couple episodes. That happens a lot. That's kind of a negative with binging, is sometimes the quality might not be there, and they might throw something together that isn't all the way there. Like, you might have a strong 4 episodes, and then it just falls off at the end of it, and it just becomes lazy. And I think that's a lot of people's issue with just binging, where you can crank these things out and not really have to worry about the quality, where week to week you could have a quality show. Like, there's trade-offs to both. There's pros and cons to both methods, but I just prefer binging, just because you can watch it at your own pace. You could even go week to week, and I know people are worried about spoilers when it comes to binging, but we're in the internet era where it doesn't really matter if your show is binge worthy or if it's week to week. You're going to get spoiled regardless. If you're on Twitter, it doesn't matter what show you're watching, you're going to get spoiled. So it's like, there's no really avoiding that. But so let me know what you think in the comments below about this discussion, this topic. Do you guys prefer binging or watching things weekly? And definitely check out the poll on Twitter at PertMinded420. Till my next video, I am out. Peace.
Trying to figure your way through all of this mess, and the only thing that you can do is just put one foot in front of the other and just continue to move forward. And there's nothing else you can do. And there's times where it just seems like days are just endless. This is never going to end. This feeling, this dark time is just never going to be over. And I think once you go through something like that, you can't help but be different. You can't help but have a better sense of